Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabup.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Today on the Totally Techniques Global Blog Hop, we are featuring Faux Torn Edge as our technique. I'm going to show you how fun and easy this technique is by making a couple Halloween card fronts. Let's get started. I'm just going to bring in a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. I'm going to show you two different ideas that I did with the Faux Torn Edge. The first card front that I'm going to show you uses basic gray ink and gorgeous grape ink. Now for Faux Torn Edge, it is exactly what I'm telling you. It is a fake torn edge look. So it makes your cardstock that you have put another piece of cardstock on it and torn the edge. The really neat thing about this technique is that it gives you the illusion of more layers to your project. So I'm just taking a piece of typing weight paper here and I'm tearing it. Notice that I'm kind of guiding it with my thumbs so that it doesn't, get a little too crazy with too many peaks and valleys. So the first thing I'm going to do here, you may not be able to see this on the camera, but what I like is that I can see through typing or copier paper weight, very thin. I can see through it so I can see the edge of my cardstock. So I know that I've got it on here fairly straight and it's about half an inch from the top. I'm gonna take my basic gray ink and a sponge and we're gonna sponge color along this top edge. And I'm just pressing very lightly. I don't want this to be too dark. And then, voila, isn't that neat? Now I'm just gonna bring it down here and I'm going to add some more color with the basic gray. And I like to swirl when I'm using sponges. I just seem to get better color that way. I'm going to stay away from this top edge up here so that I don't go over where I had my mask on before. Now we're going to come in with some gorgeous grape, and I wanted kind of a spooky sky for this particular Halloween card. And now I'm just going to come in and add some purple over that gray. Now, the neat thing about this is you can come right back up here and you can set this right back in place to continue adding color. You want to make sure that you hang on to both your card front and your mask paper so that it doesn't move on you. And I think this looks pretty darn good. Okay, so this was the first card that I made. And then I'll just tell you a little bit more about this. I used our new glimmer paper. We have it in red, green, and orange in the Holiday Mini Catalog. I punched that out with a 1 3/4 inch circle and I glued it right on to my masked area. Then I brought in my bat punch. This is fun. This is also in the Holiday Mini Catalog. Punched out some black bats, added those on here, black baker's twine, a few of our faceted dots in black, and then stamped the No Tricks, Just Treats. This is coming from the Spooky Sweets stamp set. And then the inside of my card, I put another bat, one of the punched out bats in here. This stamp set also comes with the stars, so I added some gorgeous grape stars and the Happy Halloween. We've got a card front that is 3 3/4 by 5 in Whisper White. Basic black is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And our gorgeous grape is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So this is one of the cards that I came up with using the Faux Torn Edge technique. Let me show you another one. I'm bringing in another piece of Whisper White cardstock and I'm going to add lovely lipstick to the blend. This may sound kind of crazy, but I wanted my sky to be kind of a pink and purple color. Okay, so we can use the same faux torn edge, and I'm going to add color to the very bottom of my card front. And the color that I'm going to add is Memento Black because I want this to be more like a silhouette. And I need it to be very, very solid. So I'm going to add a lot of color to this so that it's completely blacked out. This is just another way to do a faux torn edge to give yourself some ground, which is what I'm doing for this card. This is going to be the ground. And then I brought in this big tree from the Sheltering Tree stamp set. This is an oldie but goodie. I absolutely love this set. It's perfect for all seasons. It's got winter. You can use spring color, summer color, fall color. Love this stamp set. We're going to ink our tree up with the Memento Black ink pad. And we're going to stamp that right over here. Oops, there we go. Now, one thing I noticed after I did this is I can see that tree trunk down here in the black bottom. So I'm just going to come back in with a little ink and blend that so that now it is non-existent there. Okay, let me show you how I did the rest of the background. Now, we don't need to use our mask anymore. And now I'm going to grab a Post-it note. And I'm going to just put it on a scrap piece of cardstock. And the reason why I'm doing that is because punches generally do not like flimsy paper. They need something substantial to punch through. So by putting a scrap on here, I'm going to be able to punch this out perfectly. I also kept it close to the sticky on the back of my Post-it note so that I will have some of that sticky left on the back here for my masking technique. Now I'm just going to put this right up here in the corner, and that's going to be our moon. And then we're going to go about sponging the color onto the rest of this card. So I'm going to start with some Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to smear it around. Notice how it looks kind of wispy and spooky. I love this technique for Halloween cards because it really does end up looking like a crazy dark night. Okay, so once I have that color on, then I'm going to come in with the lovely lipstick, and this is where my pink sky is going to come in. I'm going to be kind of careful with this. I don't want it to take over my card. And you can sponge right over this black part. That's not going to change colors because it's black. And then in our stamp set, we have this really cool cloudy looking stamp. And now I'm just going to take that and stamp it in a few different colors here. I'm going to do a little purple, and you can stamp it without re-inking. That works really good. You'll have some dark and then some lighter. And oh my gosh, this is really coming to life now. I'm going to clean this off. And now we're going to use the basic gray. And I'm going to stamp some of that on here. You don't want to get too crazy with all this. And I think that really looks good. So let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness, isn't that fun? Now I think what I'd like to do is maybe, let's come in here and stamp off once and then maybe come in here. Oh my gosh, this was the ticket that my card front needed, was that white moon on there. I just felt like I made it and I felt like there was something missing there. Okay, so next we're going to take the bat stamp and use the Memento again. And I'm going to ink that up good and stamp my bats right here. Holy cow. I think I'm going to stamp another set of them too. There we go. Okay, now on this card, my card front is 3 3/4 by 5. It's mounted on a basic black that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. I put some ribbon, our glittered organdy ribbon around the bottom here. Oh, I do like that moon so much better, don't you? It was just missing something. I couldn't quite figure it out, and I thought, oh, I need to put a moon in there. That's going to be perfect. And then I've got it on a gorgeous grape base, and I stamped the No Tricks Just Treats in here with a little bit of that cloudy image in gorgeous grape and punched out a bat to put on the inside. So there we go. This is the faux torn technique, a fun technique. I remember when I first started as a demonstrator, I sent out Christmas cards to all of my customers, and this was the technique that I used, and it was pretty much the same layout. I had my faux torn paper technique here, and then I used blue and I stamped snowflakes in there and then stamped a greeting down here. And I remember being so proud of that card because this is such a cool technique, and I didn't have a lot of supplies at the time and a lot of cardstock. So this is really perfect when you want to keep your cardstock minimal, your layers minimal. Make sure you guys are clicking down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. Also, if you'd like to order any of these supplies, you can click right up here in the top corner, and that's going to take you right to my blog where you're going to find all the details for this particular card posted on September 28th. And please go to my blog and make sure you check out the rest of the projects in this blog hop, because everybody's going to be featuring the faux torn edge technique today. And so you'll get to see a whole bunch of different ideas. I love being able to see what other people are making with the same technique that I'm using. I think that's really fun. We have one demonstrator from all the countries that Stampin' Up! Is currently in that participate in this global blog hop. You'll also find some online classes on my blog. There are ways to get those for free. If you're a demonstrator and you don't want to place any orders with me, that's fine. You can still buy the online classes. They're fabulous to hold your own classes with too. I just want to take a moment to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.